show coming from the RAC store. With this back in the Mac in the back flow. Let's go, chillin' with raccoons by the back door. Take calls so you can stake more. All I wanna do is making dough, right? But I found this crew and doing alright. We RAC will bitch, ready to fight. So many raccoons ready for the boss life. I might fly high like a kite, right? But always ready for a shite for the right price. Raccoon supply has the right price. Giving you respect if it's likewise. So I'm buying all the mean guys with the clean heart. Read between lies, laser beam through lean eyes. Warrior with clean lies, trash mouth, mean smile, be wise. NFT wise, fuck with these guys. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy RAC rap from the stash app. RAC will take a lead in this haystack. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack.
Well. Good morning, RAC FM. And it's 0800 EST. And what does the O stand for? Oh my fucking god, it looks like the hub is under attack. Let's see, shall we? So guys, it's Friday, 27th of January 2023, and this is your daily Cosmos Crypto US of A breakfast show with your host Robo, Mayor of Rackville, and your favourite pundits. We've got Rain Man Rarma, Little G, aka Little Squid. We've got Finn Anglington and the wonderful Bbandz from the block. And we're bringing you plebs all the opinions, arguments, FUD and DPS that you fuckers need. We also have a very special guest on today's show, guys. We'll bring him up soon enough, yeah. I just want to let everybody know that we're dead excited because he's come back in different circumstances. So we're able to have, different types of conversations tonight that we had the last time. So, yeah, I would like to just get everybody to give an emoji for dead right before we bring him in, guys, right? So just put those thumbs up emojis for your man, right? So let's say good morning to everybody. Finn's in as well. Good morning, Rarma. Hello. Good evening.
Good afternoon. Good morning. And good evening. How the bloody hell are we?
Well, I bet you're ready to set some fucking fires. There's no surprise there. I bet you've been at it all day.
I'm absolutely fucking pumped. I'm sitting outside. It's about 38 degrees, 99% humidity. My foot is throbbing off its head. And I'm sitting here with a schooner of your finest Australian craft beer. Absolutely ready to set fire to the ecosystem. I'm loving it.
This is probably the most like normal kind of 5 minutes of the entire show, I would presume today. This introduction will be the most normal part of it, It's 5 a.m. over on the northeastern Pacific coast. Hello, Finn Anglington. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome.
Oh, I was hoping you'd give me another man. I'm taking my morning piss. Hold on.
You're good.
Hold on. Oh, I thought he was going to take longer. Hold on. This stuff takes a little longer when you're older. Once you hit 40.
That's my trick.
Oh, GM gang, GM gang. How we doing?
He's recording this on his own fucking computer. Where else do you get this?
He's putting sound effects in on purpose, isn't he? That this is all a setup for the edit.
No, this one. I wish this one was actually.
Groaning
that was me peeing.
Pushing out of his prostate on that one, 100%.
Bro, were you not there the other day when Gus went for a shit with a hot mic? And I'm like, Gus, I think you need to sort out your hot mic there, bro. He's like, oh shit, I'm taking a shit.
Gus was like, it ain't recorded, I don't care. You can see the real me when it's not being recorded.
How do we get how does the one the third Friday night weekly recorded show, how does it start like this? The one of 5 that we do a week that's not supposed to be recorded, and the recorder comes in just taking a piss. Honestly, come on.
Oh, he's ruined
it. I thought I had
You haven't even brought the guest up yet, and you're already pissing live on your intro. Come on, Finn.
No, it's cool though, because check it, it's Dead Right Dove. I've heard him piss on Spaces several times. We're fan. We're basically fan. Kids got to get ready to go to school. I'm in here peeing. The missus is in here taking her shit. Dove's in here finishing up his shower. I mean, we're all fam here. That's just how it goes.
I like how
Holy fuck
we
up.
started with like, I don't know, there was like at least 30 people in here. And then when Finn started pissing, we lost at least 15. And then I think someone tweeted out that he was pissing live on stream and we gained another 40. So welcome. RAC FM doesn't discriminate. We'll accept all people, all listeners.
Hey, that's showbiz. That's showbiz, gang.
Well, Bbandz is not here. She's letting us down. I'm presuming either the kids are off school or she's trying to get them on the bus and they want no part of it. It's unlike your woman to be late. So let's say a fantastic warm welcome to Mr. Dead Right Dove, DRD. How are you, sir? Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Robo, and all the other lads. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm also glad I'm not the only person that I've heard peeing on one of these spaces. So that definitely made me feel more comfortable.
And I love the fact you're here in different circumstances this time as well. And you guys have been crushing it, you know. It's class.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bonus not to be coming out with a fire extinguisher, yeah, but just like have a good chat. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, don't get your hopes up. Rarma's still here.
True. And I must say, I'm so jealous, mate. Like 38 degrees, sitting with a beer. It's 1 p.m. my time, and it's actually pretty freezing in Portugal. So yeah, enjoy that.
I was just little Squid keeps sending me morning updates. If he wakes up and he's like, oh, just like another 10 centimeters of fresh snow here. I fucking hate my life. I'm like, hey man, I'll swap you any day of the week. Like, come on, like you're missing out. You got the real shit. I'm dealing with the shit, you know.
No, mate, I'm all about being super warm. I could do that right now. Believe me.
I will take the snow and having to shovel and snow blow and all the fun stuff that comes with that over the face hugging spiders and the dick punching kangaroos and everything else that's deadly over there. I'll take the snow over that shit.
You had me at the snow powder. Like, I'm all in, you know, like, doesn't matter what kind.
Yeah, like ours is interesting, man. My mate over there is just having a casual barbecue and left some meat on the plate. And then I don't even know what this thing is, man. Like I have this weird kind of phobia of geckos. It's just, don't ask, but yeah, it is what it is. And then this lizard, I mean, it stands up next to, you know, like a standard Weber barbecue. So this thing is on his legs and its head is still way over the top of the barbecue. And it's just casually grabbing his leftover steak. Like, what? Yeah, it must have been, but what the hell?
Yeah, so goanna, like a little bit of Australian law here, right? But it's like real shit. I don't know if law's fake or not.
It's a sand guana, please, Rarma, get it right. It's a sand guana, the second biggest in the world.
The real shit, right? Like these ones
are a big
like
fella. I've seen them.
6 foot tall. But the worst thing about them is, right, their bite is poisonous because all they do is eat raw, dead animals. If you get bitten by them, like, you've got to go to the hospital because, like, they will, if they pierce your skin with their, like, they've only got little teeth, like, they're not real big, but they will absolutely, like, fuck you up. Like, they will decompose your skin. Like, that's how
what
bad
the
it
hell?
is. But,
Yeah. We got iguanas in Florida that are much the same. They just kind of fall out of palm trees when it's cold, but when it's warm and you get your hand too close to them, it's like a normal degen. I mean, you guys know, you don't get your hand too close to the degen, you might get bit, and then you get rabies and shit. So same idea. But yeah, the iguanas, they are no joke.
Yeah,
I've been amongst all of the three, the biggest ones. So obviously Komodo dragons, like on Komodo and Rebekka.
Man,
they're
everyone sleeps on the Komodos, man. Those things are insane.
They're the biggest.
Entire goat, like
they're the biggest. Yeah, the biggest lizard in the world. Then the second one after that, I saw in the Daintree rainforest. What Rarma's talking about, Jesus, its tongue was about 2 foot long. Sand guana, they're the second biggest, and then you've got these fucking, what they call them, the monitor lizards in Thailand. They're the third biggest, I think. They're scary. Whoa, they live in my local canal. I see them walking up and down the street like every other day, you know.
Those are the ones that have their daily dance battles with the group of monkeys that run around stealing shit from tourists. I've seen videos of that shit. You see monkeys and iguanas coming down the same block, you better leave because shit's about to go down.
Mate, That's like an alternate universe. I can't believe what, I mean, it's fair enough, like, Komodo dragons and marveling at them and stuff. But I guess it's just more of an issue for me when there's sort of one 6 foot tall guy that is sneaking over the barbecue and eating the meat. Like that just seems a bit, what do?
Once you feed him, right? Like he knows where the food's at. He's going to expect you to have dinner ready every day now. And I don't got time for that. I don't know. I doubt you do, No,
not exactly. And if it gets to that, and then you end up having to, force feed a giant creature that can bite you and kill you, it's pretty wild. So, yeah, maybe I'm okay here in my little spot.
Good morning, Bbandz. Hello. You were a little bit late this morning, but we'll let you off, darling.
First of all, I'm confused my days. I thought Team Kujiro was on Friday. Oops, my bad.
Is it not Friday morning for you, dear?
Friday, Band.
Isn't it
Friday?
Thursday?
Yeah, it's Friday.
It's Friday morning. Did you send your kids to school?
Lost track of the days control with a freak. Oh my goodness.
Hello, welcome.
That's going to cost you an NFT giveaway, Mrs. Bbandz.
What a classic. What a classic.
I'm
what a show.
1000% honest. I apologize. I really did think today was Thursday. I'm going to double check.
You saw all of us like in the space and was like, what the fuck are these guys doing? They're having like a test run. They practicing material here.
I was like, oh.
It's so fun.
Just saying.
I was like, maybe they pushed the show ahead a day.
You're a member of the RAC FM DAO. This is strike 1 of 3. Okay, like we're keeping track of them via proposals. If you hit 3 of 3, you get voted out, and then you've got to go down to the pleb DAO.
She's not in the DAO yet, is she? She's not in. I looked.
No, I haven't been voted in yet, but I don't think it's looking very good for me right now, guys.
Okay, well,
is it weird? Is it up for voting?
Very good right now, are you? Bbandz? It's not looking very good to get in.
I haven't been happy about this Bbandz. I've been complaining. I'm like, where's Bbandz? Is there a prop up for you, darling? I'll vote for you.
There is. Yeah, there's a prop up. And,
when does the prop go?
Hey, Robo, are you gonna shield the new DAO treasury?
Well, we are going to drop some stuff in at the end. We are going to big some.
Sorry, just quickly.
We're going to big up some things to do with RAC FM and how we are getting very serious. We're trying to prove this on a daily basis. But I just want to say, guys, to you, fucking hell, what a week. This is a week that has felt like a month to me personally in crypto and kind of in general, but it's the first time I've been like, my God, can this week end? How much can you deal with in 1 week? I believe it was Sunday night we went live with Rena, and we did that one, and then we've done like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We did the NFT round table. We've been on every day, and then obviously, I mean, what a week, guys. And then you've got this atom situation, or the hub situation. I mean, it's going nuclear, the whole thing, isn't it? Right now,
I just got to say really quickly, Robo, like I appreciate how much of a big week it's been for you hosting the spaces. Finn, over to you, recording your once a week RAC FM spaces. How's your week been, mate? It's been pretty quiet.
I'm downstairs where my wife is sleeping, so I can't do it. Give me 5 minutes.
I think that says enough. Okay, back to you, Robo.
I'm just switching wallets, dude, into the hot wallet so I can go and vote for Bbandz to be on our little DAO, and then, we can start and give some announcements at the end, right? I will say the dead right, though. And now I would like to say as well, of some of the audience members, I can see people in here, May, Golden Ratio, all you classics in, Al's in, Brucey Boy, Andre's back, right? They've got a brilliant crowd tonight. So let's give them a good show, guys, exactly what they want. I mean, macro-wise...
Sorry, just very quickly,
don't care. I don't care. No, I don't care. I want to talk about what we want to talk about.
Yeah, 100%. Just very quickly. So we make sure that everyone is super comfortable and super aware of the format. The Friday night RAC FM Weekly, we have a set panel of people who are invited up as guests. We've got the panel and some guests, and maybe, if you're lucky, 1 or 2 appearances of selected people. If we talk about your protocol or your project, there's a very good chance that you won't get to speak if we're talking about you. Monday through Thursday, you can come up and you can shill all you want. the one weekly show or the NFT roundtable. It's got a set schedule of panelists. They're very structured. They're very specific format. We've worked diligently in a very structured set format. We're time bound on every topic we talk about. We can't always get to you, and we can't always bring you up whenever you want, just for future reference.
Right.
Listen, somebody's feelings really got hurt, so we gotta remind people during the middle of the show, because JGT from NFT Switch didn't know that we weren't allowing people to come up, and I felt so bad because he was really, man, he was hot like fire, and I was like, why isn't anybody telling him it's a panelist thing? But oh well, now he knows.
It's been tweeted out. I retweeted the retweet of a retweet, right? I've been telling people regularly, look guys, we have these open mics all the time. I mean, look what happened last night, right? First of all, your man from Alpha Growth dropped in. And then afterwards, Bendy from the other crew dropped in. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. But it's not recorded, and it's just anybody can come and say what they like. It's always open mics. But when we're doing specials, we are trying to, not just be overrun by too many voices. We all bounce off each other. We know when to shut up, etc. Bbandz, I've just voted for you, darling. Okay, there you go.
Thank you. If anybody else wants to vote, whether for or against me,
Squid.
Please, so I can quickly get it
Will
over
Squid,
with.
man.
Find out where I stand with the RAC FM.
Always waiting on the Squid.
If she only got one vote, no, I didn't even look how many people voted for her. Wait a minute.
Well, I voted because I made the proposal. So if you're second, that means Finn and Squid haven't voted yet, just to call everyone out live in spaces.
Yeah.
So, well, hey. Just give me a sec, I woke up, I started the recorder, I took my piss, as you all heard. I went downstairs, rolled my smoke. You almost woke up my girl. She's sleeping now. We're good. I will vote. Just, getting my day started. Just be patient. And also, that might have been my bad. I DM'd JG and I was like, hey, they're going to talk about NFT Switch. You should go request to speak.
Oh, Finn, you added to it.
I'm sorry.
You motherfucker.
JG,
you started
JG.
all of this.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
You absolute piece of shit. It was you all along.
Rugged. He absolutely rugged all of us, the entire Finn. How could you do that to us? And we had Shroot and Youngster on as well, man. You've rugged them as well. We're all down horrendous, aren't we? So
yep, just trying to do my part.
Right. There was a time when I would have said something back where I would have got involved, but I was just from the RAC FM account, I was really professional. Look, we've said this before, you know what I mean? No offense caused. We're always willing to put on a special, blah, blah, blah. But, it's almost I don't know, petulant teenagers, dude, their behavior and that tweet that came out really quick, well, if we're not welcome, we'll just host our own. And it's guys, do you not understand? We had 6, I'm using the word call, key opinion leader, in a loose term, but we had 6 calls up on stage. And then you've got myself, Youngster and True just there to moderate and throw the topics in or whatever and keep it on track, It's that show, that their project would have took over the show, and that's not what you guys tuned in for. Is that correct? Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to be to be fair, it's the first RAC FM NFT roundtable, right? So have the structure, the conversation from my point of view, it was on point. It was the specific topics, how on point they were. It was very targeted. No one was fudded. No one was shilled. It was just hardcore, good NFT talk around what can be better, what is being done well, what's the current news topics. It was awesome. I don't think that it needed a particular focal point of a founder of a product coming up and being hey, you got this point, this very specific thing of our product a little bit wrong, or to add a point to it. It didn't need it. So.
Well, that brings us, guys, to a great point here. And Dead Right Dove and Moll, I can say Moll's jumped in the audience. Dead Right and Moll, you probably want to put your hands over your ears right now and not try to listen to what I'm about to say to Rarma. But so Rarma, this particular project that we're talking about that had an issue that didn't come up and speak, then threw the dummy out the pram, right, and ran off with their ball, etc., etc.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
It turns out the day that they've put the prop up, but the closed source.
Whoa.
Oh no!
Whoa! On a minute, Robo. You said we weren't going to do this. Like now,
no, I said Mull as well.
Upset.
I said put your.
I mean, we should, and because my DMs are going to get hit the hardest, we should preface this by saying there was just a tweet, and instead of referencing the individual to said code that is open, he just sent the SCV audit. So we don't know. I don't personally know if it is open or closed. All I know is when he was asked, he sent an audit and not a link to Git. So I just want to say that before my DMs get blown all to hell.
So I'm happy to jump in, right? And I'll say that I think there's various elements of open source. Like ultimately, yes, like crypto should be open source. I think the majority of us can agree that in like principle. I think there's varying degrees of why and when, etc. So the way I see it, right, I'm going to very briefly touch on like the Kuji situation because I don't want to go into it. I'm not interested in it. It's been fucking hammered to death way too much. They have the chain. They get to decide when, how, why they open source, what elements. You get to decide what risk profile you want to take by investing in that. Done. Juno, in terms of permissionless chain and the RACs, it's fucking permissionless. You can do whatever the fuck you want on there. If you want to get funded by the Growth Fund or Core One or whatever, you have to open source. Done. Moving on. In this situation, for NFT Switch, I believe, can't confirm, haven't looked at all of the props because it's Stargaze and it's very boring other than me having a very, very degen NFT minting addiction. If you have to have open source contracts to put them on Stargaze chain as part of like a mandate or whatever, you cannot put your contract on that chain. It's permissioned. You have to go through governance. You've got to open source that shit to put it on the chain. If you can't open source it and there's a mandate to do it, you're not happening. Done. Ranting.
And it may be by the time that happens, as we all know.
Correct.
People like to copy off other people's work. So while you're building, keep that shit close tight. But yeah, when it's time to release,
it's the Juno situation in terms of like when you go mainnet, if you want to get funded or if you want to launch it, there's certain mandates. You have to open source it to go mainnet. If they want to do that and they're going to do that, great. Go and do it before you go.
All right, let's move on. We're giving Dove like PTSD here. Let's move on. I feel like you're going to bring Jacob up next and it's going to turn into that last episode. Let's move on.
No, not quite, but I want to bring something up, right, guys, that's kind of like bugging a couple of people that's DM me. And I don't want to make it awkward for any of like the panel speakers or co-hosts, whatever.
Are you saying the closed source folks?
Wait a minute though. I found out NFT Switch, they've obviously got like a relation as well to like Arc Protocol, who's then got a relationship with like, there seems to be, I didn't realize, but there seems to be like quite a kind of closely connected, but rather like big crew, right? Is that right there? Like, are they all involved in like a what's it called? Barebones Lab or whatever it is? Or there seems to be like a big crew of them.
Isn't it the Backbone Lab or something?
Sorry, Backbone. Yeah, but like
basically,
NFT Switch, are they related?
If you search Twitter with like the pirate flag emoji, and I think it's like a skull. Anyone doing that is like part of the crew or like a follower of that, unless I'm mistaken.
Is that the punks? That's the punks.
It's the skeleton punks, and because I tweeted it the other day, like when they all got up in their jimmies, when I replied to them, skeleton punk, because I was like, you're a pleb when X Y Z A. Skeleton punks were like, so we're plebs. I'm like, well, if you run the account, yeah, and they're like, you don't have to be so rude all the time, TLDR. I was like, well, okay, cool. Now we know you're affiliated with them. I'm like, it's not that hard. Like, if there's just like this big group of people who are behind the protocol, then cool. But don't need to get so upset about it. Like,
yeah, well, EJ, respect where respect's due, was straight out in the DMs, and he's like, look, dude, just ignore these guys. Like, I've told them, like, I've already DM'd them, told them to shut up. He was like straight. I was like, class. A lot of respect there for that guy, man. lot of respect.
It's the whole thing with, like, how I've said with the RAC, like, you've got to be careful who you decide to partner with and why, because it can damage reputation pretty quickly, XYZ.
And that's such a sticky situation because everyone's so closely knit and everything that you just want to be careful that you are, partnering with the right project. Like, to give you an example, there was this one project that got partnered with, right? And everybody was just like, it's so hot. I haven't heard shit about meta-mystic superheroes in God knows how long. They minted, they did their little staking thing. They were all like popping and locking and freaking, we're here for everybody. We're the inclusive verse. Well, inclusive verse is not including anybody because everyone's gone. But I'm just saying, that's how I feel about it. That's
no. So, right, anyway, that's another conversation for another day. Is the prop just on, it's not on chain, it's just on Commonwealth, is it? Is that right? That Stars prop?
Yeah, I've been trying to keep up with it, and I've been checking it every, let's say, day or like morning and night. Man, they are very, very active in responding to their prop on Commonwealth. And my experience leads me to believe that that's not always the best thing. Like, every single comment, they've got like 100 to 200 word reply. Every comment.
Well, I'm going to go and have a look. But Rarma, put you on the spot. While we're on the subject of governance, and while I know you're a big, big, big fan of Game of Nodes, I don't know if you caught last week's episode there. Did you see that by any chance?
Do you think I'd missed an episode? Get out of here.
Okay. You know the one when Noah was talking about there's no community funds, and he's like, don't fucking ask and all of this
last week,
stuff.
Not 2 days ago. Yeah.
No, yeah. Over a weekend, like a week yesterday or something. So I'm just thinking, like, if you went to 30 minutes in, there was about an 8-minute conversation about their governance on a certain chain, and there seemed to be some displeasure from validators. Can you extend on that? Can you remember what they were talking about?
Dude, you got to be more specific. Like, come on.
They were complaining about. I don't know. They were complaining because they had to like vote like several times or something.
Oh no!
Wrong, man. Avoided it.
No, it was Coogee for the Senate.
It was Coogee.
Yeah, my bad. No, the week before was FMOS. No, you were right. There's been a lot, and I'm so glad So, disclaimer: active governance discussioner here, zero actual voter. Right? Don't fucking vote. Don't give a shit. I will just fucking discuss it to the moon and back. I'm not going into multiple wallets, soon to be one wallet, to vote. Like, not a fucking chance. Okay. My voting power is so little it doesn't fucking matter. Okay. Absolute pleb over here. But more than happy to chat about it because it's fun and entertaining.
Well,
Coogee Senate, that's a lot of props.
Yes.
So
a lot.
Coogee, thoughts on a future product that can do this, not via 120 proposals?
Yeah, fair. Yeah, you know what it was? Like, we wanted to get obviously the Senate going, and we did that. And then it would have been a case of, the Senate voting is a relatively one-time thing, right? At least in terms of the huge group of people that will be there initially, right? So yeah, it was a bit of a toss-up between, do we go and spend resource on changing how that works, having like multiple select and, all sorts of stuff for governance, when it probably would basically be the only time we'd use it. But, obviously going forward, if we have something like that where you're basically choosing between so many people, yeah, so it was sort of, there was so much going on, and then all the votes came out and we were like, oh shit, that's a lot of props. So yeah, this kind of just was one of those is what it is situations. We were heads down on so many products, and yeah, apologies.
Course, right? Like, you've got to do what's required within the current software and governance module, etc. Right, to do what's required to move the chain forward. Question, completely off the cuff, and you can just be like, no, not fucking interested. That's how RAC FM runs. What about like an outpost or a version of, say, Dow Dow on Coogee, where you could do some sort of gauge voting for future senates and like working with that team to, put their code on Coogee as an example?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Like, that would be wicked. And there's bound to be more of these types of votes. And I think the gauging vote stuff would actually be really, really handy. There's not a lot of time at the moment from when a prop goes up and when it passes, and it's kind of there's a good reason for that, right? Because much like you were explaining about, Juno, they have the flow, and you like that's just how it works, and you need to comply, which is great. We have that similar thing, but it's kind of a bit tricky because you wouldn't want to wait like a week for something like, I don't know, for example, a Finn pair to go up, right? That would be kind of like insane. So we've been going backwards and forwards on various things, but I think definitely if there was something like that allowed like a gauging interest and allowed, people to have a bit more time to discuss, that would be cool for certain topics. And then for the other ones, like the obvious stuff, right? I guess no one's going to need to take more than 48 hours to decide if they want like X and Y pairs going up on the decks. But yeah, for more broad stuff or anything that requires a bit more debate, that would be cool. So yeah, definitely keen to chat.
So just on like the gauges and stuff, and Robo, jump in anytime. I know you didn't want to like hang on Coogee too much, but happy to if you're happy to as the host.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
In terms of the 2-day voting, I know the reason why early days that it was reduced to 2 days, and it was to move rapidly and evolve rapidly for the product and the project. I think it's been, what are we now, kind of just over 6 months, correct me if I'm wrong, people take.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's like a pretty good stabilizing time, and as far as I'm aware, and again, correct me, I'm not daily involved in Coogee, that I see Finn pairs getting added, but they're not getting added kind of once a week at the current rate, right? So I'm just interested in the current 2-day voting period that seems quite short.
Yeah.
In terms of general governance, not just Finn pairs. So do you think you could probably extend it a bit further, given that the volume of Finn pairs is not quite as rapid, and the limitations that we currently have with general governance not being able to, split governance by type or category, etc.?
Yeah, no, definitely. But I don't. Just so you know, there actually been like a crazy amounts of Finn pairs going up, and most of them coming from the community. So what's been happening is we're getting these kind of power users that are realizing that they can run all sorts of ARB strategies and things like that. And if you click on all under Finn, you'll see there's actually a load now and tons on Bo as well. So, but yeah, I agree. I think the timing is good now. We kind of I know we chatted about it before, but we needed to get this kind of flywheel thing going, and it's going super well. So yeah, I agree. It's stabilized really well. The TVL Bo has been doing its trick, and it's resulted in more minted USK and all the rest of it. So yeah, we'll definitely revisit that. But I would love to talk with the DAO guys and see what we can do there. Sounds wicked.
What else have you just added as collateral? I mean, you guys are killing it on the USK. Did you guys hit that million threshold yet or not?
Yeah, we did. We popped over that the other day, so that's been good. We added. Was that the first mint though? Wasn't it only 1 million or something at first? Is that right?
Yeah, but it had to change the parameter to like be able to mint more than 1 million, right? Because that was set.
No, it's 1 million across. So the million was set. For Atom, it's set to 1 million, and some of the other big ones. So we haven't had to change that yet.
So it's 1 million per
individually collateralized.
Yeah, the total.
Cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So there's 1 million USK out there basically, and that's come from majority Atom, and then we had a smaller mint cap for Luna, and that was kind of gobbled up pretty quickly. So, and then Pax G was a recent one, pretty interesting because if you look at gold, like if you look at how it moves, Astral Mike He had some, I can't remember the exact stats, but it's something crazy. Like the last time gold dropped, I don't know, it's something like more than 10% in a relatively short period of time was like, God knows, whatever it was, 10 or 20 years ago, like a long time ago. It like basically never does that. So if you're looking at something for collateral, it's pretty handy, right? Because let's say you mint it like 50% LTV, it's pretty like well, obviously nothing is a guarantee, but it's a much, much, much more stable asset to utilize to mint the stable and then use it without major fear of liquidation. So yeah, I think that's been a pretty handy addition. And it's pretty cool. I think, I don't know if there's other stables that have been parked back by gold, really. I mean, I know there's probably another 2-hour conversation we can have around this stuff and centralization and all that sort of stuff. But, if you look at it in that respect, it's pretty cool because you're actually getting real world assets backing, the coin, which is pretty interesting, I think.
Do you know what? I'm dead right. I have to tell you this. I think Coogee is the only fucking bag that Finn is holding that we haven't footed on RAC FM. I'm pretty sure that like Coogee's the only bag we haven't footed. Is that right, Finn?
Yeah, I'm looking through my bags right now, and they've all been fudded except for Coogee. So thank you.
All right, Bbandz, over to you. Sort them out.
The Fud Queen.
Okay.
Don't bring the Fud Queen in.
I just have a quick question. No, I just have a quick question. So it's the basket of assets that are backing the coin. You said that it's only gold, or what kind of, is it a basket of assets, or what assets are? I'm still learning about Jira.
Yeah, no problem. No, we've got a few. So what we're trying to do is kind of spread out the risk and try not to be too insular, right? Like within Cosmos, because we don't really feel like that's a good thing. We think that there's like the Cosmos tech is amazing, right? And various communities really, really cool. But we have to kind of look at this as a blockchain thing, right? Not just a Cosmos thing. I think all of us, right? I think we all, even myself included, right? Like you get into these tight-knit communities, and then it's sort of like, the temptation is to kind of flip the bird everywhere else. But the way we see it, so we've got Atom, which is kind of a no-brainer. Of course, it's huge, and it's got, so just, you might need a little bit of context. So in order to have an asset listed for collateral, and I know that a lot of people don't realize this, which makes sense because you wouldn't unless you knew. But for oracles to work, for the price feeders on oracles to work, it's basically imperative that you have a minimum of 3 like high volume exchange listings, right? So in layman's terms, what the oracle does is it quickly goes off and checks that, someone on one exchange, some whale hasn't like performed some crazy thing and messed with the price, and then suddenly people get liquidated when they shouldn't be. So that's really what it's about. So we get a lot of people saying, hey, can you just list whatever, PooCoin as collateral? It's like, well, no, you can't. That's probably a bad example because I think PooCoin is everywhere, but that's just crypto. But obviously we'd be being sensible. So looking at the big ones, we've got Atom, BNB, DOT, Ethereum, Luna at a sensible mid cap while we watch it, and then PaxG. So that is the basket of assets as it stands, and naturally there'll be more coming over. And yeah, so it's you need to look for the most stable and the big ones that are out there, and then make sure, as I say, that you've got that really, really stable oracle stuff. But yeah, those are the ones.
So are the basket of assets, are they constantly new assets added to this? Are you adding more, or are you eliminating some? Like how, or does it have to go to vote so that you can add another asset?
Yeah, exactly. So adding another one would be a governance proposal. So, I mean, technically anyone can do that. In fact, the PaxG one was done by Mike. It wasn't someone in the internal team. So we're starting to see a lot more of that happening. That's what I was saying to Rarma. There's actually been a lot of community activity, guys proposing collateral assets and proposing fin pairs and actually all sorts of crazy stuff in the background. I mean, I don't want to hog the call, but just for example, more recently, we just got Coogee and USK onto Ethereum. via gravity, which is really cool actually. So we're going to be tweeting about it just after this call actually. So there's all sorts of stuff like that going on.
Free alpha, is that free alpha?
Yeah, that's
free alpha.
Hey,
you have been Kuji has been hands on. No, did you get that one? Hey, nice little fun for you. Very hands on. Let's bring Gaines in. Mr. Plebtastic, Mr. fucking Squid, because he's been busy ghosting us again. Gaines, come into conversation, dude. It's going in the right direction.
I actually had one more question, but I'll ask after.
Of course, Bbandz. No. Go ahead, Bbandz. We'll bring Cleb in after.
Just getting home.
Get closer to the Wi-Fi. You're almost there.
His audio was terrible. Go on, Bbandz. What's your last question?
So E-Money, they had their stuff was backed by, collateral in a bank and stuff like that. Is this basket of assets where is this basket of assets? Just like in a wallet, or like how does it work? I'm just really curious because E-Money was like, oh, we got assets in the bank that are backing our stuff. And I mean, I just read the white paper and it said that. I didn't go any further. That's why I was just kind of curious, like, how does that work? And then that's my last question. I'll move on. I was just curious.
Yeah, no worries. So it all just goes into the contract. So it's not, you're able to go and supply and withdraw, rebalance your position as you feel fit, right? So it all is retained.
So you guys are custodying this like in your.
It's all in. I mean, everything's viewable on contract, and we have all sorts of parameters that you can go and check that. But yeah, I don't know if there'd be another way, except for Pax G, I guess, where ultimately what's happening is they are holding real gold, and they're tokenizing it, right? So in that respect, once you unwind it, if you wanted to go from the token back into gold, they have their own methods of doing that. But yeah, as per the other contracts is, there's various things that you can, all the contract addresses are public, right? So, and you can easily just query.
Oh, no, I wasn't asking for that I want to go investigate it.
Call the bank. Yeah. I want to see the gold. Show me the gold.
I meant how Coinbase, they custody some who is it? They custody for somebody, but they won't show they won't show who's custodying or how much it is because they want to protect people's privacy. It's just a weird thing. That's why I was just curious about.
Isn't BUSD though also backdoor through the same company, right? BUSD is isn't it connected to the same thing?
It's all the same.
Robert?
It's the same fucking company, isn't it? Paxos, right? Because they've got a stable coin as well as the gold one, right? Yeah. It's BUSD. I'm sure with BUSD, that's what they use is the Paxos system. Because there's been loads of in the news recently about that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's as safe as houses. It's probably one of the most the same is probably one of the most safest fucking things in crypto. I've seen a few reports on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, obviously we're trying to be super, super careful and picky. But yeah, so Bbandz, in this case, there isn't a custodial solution because, as you mentioned, that kind of brings with it extra problems. We could look into that down the line. We've been chatting to various custodial partners, but it's quite cool that, with Kujira, it's all just open and, you can just query and make sure that you can see everything, right? Which is, I think, pretty nice. So yeah, that's the approach.
Yes, that is really cool.
Yeah.
I think too, you guys learned a lot of important lessons from watching what happened with the B Luna UST stuff and how some fake wicks could cause cascading liquidations and all of that. And I feel like you guys have a lot of that experience that you took and put into how you put together this whole situation here. And it has been really cool watching these new baskets get added into the mint section here, DOT, WBNB, ETH, Luna, like you said. It's really cool watching just after seeing how long it took us on Anchor to get other assets in there. It seemed like it was just B Luna for the longest time. and then what was the next one that got added right before the crash? I forget what it was, but but it was like so long in between those times. So I like that you guys are moving a bit faster with that, still with those lessons that you could only learn by getting fully licked in a crash like that. So
yeah, that's it. And I mean, it's pretty interesting, right? Because of the way Kujira works. So if you're a staker, you're earning like little nibbles of Ethereum now, gold. It's pretty wild. Bitcoin to be coming soon. So that's pretty interesting. Of course, as the volumes, things have been growing pretty nicely. If I can do a shameless punt, like our TVL, I think over the last 30 days was higher than anything in the whole space. So we were like, okay, that's sweet. So that's not like a vanity metric, because with Kujira, the more TVL there is, the more that flywheel starts to kick in, right? And then more USK gets minted. And obviously we've got Orca there for the liquidation. So yeah, we're trying to build like a really a complete circular financial ecosystem rather than just have parts of it. It's obviously quite a challenge, but yeah, we definitely learned a lot in the Terra days.
I'm going to be the first degen to request my bar of gold just from my staking rewards. I'm looking at them right now. I've got 0.000001. So
brilliant.
As soon as that shit keeps rolling, I'll have a bar of gold. Easy.
Yeah, we'll post everyone bars of gold. Too easy.
Squid, you get your internet fixed?
Hey, who cares about the squid? I have a very quick question prior to the squid.
Good point.
We all care about the squid. Rarma, watch it.
Bbandz, stop sucking up to him, all right? Okay, it's rain Bbandz, not rain squid. Okay.
Listen, Rarma. I would do the same for you if anybody came sideways. All right. So
you sort them out, rain Bbandz. I believe. All right. Mr. Dead Right Dog, your Oracle. I have questions. It looks very, very good. Is it the same one that has been used previously, or is it new and improved?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Hans would give you a way better answer. Like, I didn't architect that, but it's new and improved. Can I
DM him and just like he just hook up with a copy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even listen to like parts of. By the way, with the open source chat, I actually really don't mind speaking about it, so you don't have to worry about that. But I think that bit might actually be. But I'll check for you. Yeah,
I don't want to talk.
It's not even like it's not. I don't care about open closed source. I care about how fucking good your Oracle is, because there was some pretty serious like price action. What it was like 3 weeks ago or something, when there was like a pretty serious dump, and you guys handled that fucking flawlessly. Like price action, liquidations, etc. Like it all. Like I was watching it. I think it might have been like Gold and I were like in the DMs, just being like, we were prepared for like fucking the black moon.
They were prepared to come FUD my bags. That's what he's been doing. He's watching it. He's like, here it goes.
We exited all of our Hua positions, etc. We were ready to go, and you guys just like handled like all of the liquidations, the price action flawlessly. It was great. So.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, so it's really cool. So one thing, Terra actually did build some amazing tooling, right? And they actually still are in the form of Alliance and various things. But we worked closely with Terra for a very long time. And then the guys at Yumi, and they really specialize in this kind of stuff. Oracles and stuff are pretty much their game, as well as the lending market. But of course, that, much like Kujira, that kind of sits on top of the tech that they've built. So we took an approach of using the bits that we liked from Terra and the bits we used from Yumi, the methodologies, and that's how Hans approached it. But yeah, it definitely works super well. And then all the validators, every single one are involved in those price feed checks that they do. So yeah, we're super happy with it. It's working really well. And as you say, we got a pretty good event to test it out. I mean, we've had bigger. I don't know if people realizing this, but Orca didn't stop working even in the May crash. It literally just kept pumping and doing its job. when everything had collapsed. I mean, there were like zillions of Luna in there, in there waiting for people to be claimed. It was pretty insane. I can't remember the number, but it was eye watering. Like, obviously we were thinking, geez, if Luna had bounced back at that point in time, my God, the Orca users would have been like retiring, but it wasn't to be. But yeah, anyway, so we've had some pretty strong stress tests on that part of the system. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, cool. Sounds like you guys are pretty well versed in that area. Just want to very quickly say hello to Tank. We got Hopers in here, and who else we got?
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yes, you little plebs. We said we were going to do some NFT giveaways for the culture, and this is part of the reason that we've set the DAO up. Is because we are like trying to we are going to turn this into like not a professional business, a kind of non-for-profit, but like, we're going to get squatted up. We're going to be on fucking Twitch, on YouTube for the Friday show. We're doing this proper hardcore merch. Brandon,
gonna get to see rain bands on stream, yes, live
with a plebtastic cap. You know that you've got a choice of 3 caps bands for the.
You're gonna get to see Rarma docs. You're gonna get to see Robo docs.
Wait, I already seen Squid.
Only special people watch Game of Nodes and Don's channel. Not everyone. Like, okay.
You've only seen me with my mouth shut. You don't want to see it with it open, I tell you. That's a fucking horror sight right there, I tell you. Right fucking graveyard. Trust me, darling. I'm just breaking you in before you see it. I've only got like 7 teeth or something, man. Half being knocked out, another half pulled out, Anyway, right. Giveaway time. Do, do, do. Drum roll. Our boss, thank you very much, our boss, HR, has kindly donated a mad Hua NFT that they did for the Rex drop situation for the people who got rugged on Hua. So they're lovely little like novel items, right, guys? And I was kind of like, right, okay, well, how do we do this just like randomly or whatever? Well, I'll tell you what, guys. The first person to comment in the comments down below on this Spaces, tell me which country are chihuahuas from. Go. And none of the panelists speak out. First person to put that in the comments, you win the NFT.
You are all so fucked.
You win the NFT.
That any of you get
no way. Look who's in. 3 seconds. Look who's in 3 seconds. My goodness me, gracious me! Did you see that?
Wow! How do you even judge this?
How quick was she there?
Oh, listen, all I say, doesn't Chihuahua Mexico exist? I'm just saying. Hey, Squid, what's up?
Oh my God!
Good.
This is gonna be tough.
Morning, RAC FM.
Oh my God! How do you even judge this?
Good morning.
Oh, he's back.
Bruce Man was first, followed by.
Yeah, not for me. Right?
Ghostface, so 1 second after.
I don't count. My
Mayor,
count.
3 seconds after, and Bbandz 5 seconds after that. So
who? Oh, I need to refresh. Who won that? Finn, you're updated. I take it. Who won that?
Bruce Man, Mayor Bruce Man.
Don't listen to Finn. He's rigging it right now. Rarma sees the right one.
Wait a minute. I need to come out and come back in. He's 58 seconds. Oh, Ghostface 56. Yeah. Ghostface.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, Ghostface. Yes, correct. Yeah. I hadn't updated, but Ghostface got it there. It just showed me.
Also, shout out to Cat.
No, you might not. 52 seconds. Denito Kuji, 52. He's beat Ghostface.
That was 52 seconds ago.
Oh, right. Okay. That's why it's from the top down. Good job, Finn was on the ball there. Well, I've never done one before, right? Okay. Ghostface, Raccoon will DM you. So, Mullet said just GST in the audience.
So the way you need to run this, okay, Mr. RAC FM, because it's going to be controlled from the DAO. The winner needs to DM you their Juno address, so then we can get the DAO to put up a proposal to send them the NFT.
Oh my gosh, that's just
No.
so much red tape right there.
Don't
Dead
let.
I see your hands up. What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I'll chuck some Coogee into that pot as well. So yeah, just thought.
Well, dead right.
Wait.
Dead
Now
right.
I want to be to the competition. I want to.
Where?
No, this is
Rarma.
fucking.
Nope.
Rarma, explain though about like what we're doing and what we did with Cosmos Spaces. Well, guys, we're going to do a proper pitch for them a bit later on before we finish. But
Robo wants to get all serious. Bbandz is talking about red tape. Okay, so what we've done is, because we want to make this a thing where we can do like potential sponsorships, make this a professional fucking show, as much as you want to laugh about it. People want to do like giveaways and stuff, and we're happy to do them. What we want to do is make sure that, like, when we do the giveaways, that the winners get their NFTs and they go to a place that they know that it'll be given. So we've created a DAO on Juno, on DAO. It's called the RAC FM DAO. If you go to the RAC FM Twitter page, the link is there. Everyone can see the DAO treasury. Currently, we can only hold Juno NFTs. We can hold any IBC token. In the future, we can hold any IBC NFT once we get like ICF 721s soon. Okay.
But what's it going to be? What's it going to be used for, though, Rarma?
Yeah. Technology is hard. It takes time. The idea is that we can build a treasury. We can build a treasury of NFTs, of tokens, and we can do giveaways for people who listen to the show.
Merch.
We can also improve the show by doing things like RAC FM merch, and we can do RAC FM Twitch streams or YouTube, or whatever we want to do, and improve the quality of the show that we give by certain people getting better quality mics. I already have like a good quality headset and a mic if we were to stream on YouTube or Twitch, and not just on Spaces that's phone bound, but maybe we multi-stream it, right? And
not aimed at Robo at all. That like was a Bbandz thing, right?
Definitely not aimed at Robo. So I think that we recognize that like the show that we've got is pretty cool. People like it. People engage with it. We can make the show better, and we get approached a lot for like giveaways, and we want to be able to do that in a way that's not reliant on one person. So by building a DAO, we can just make sure that those NFTs go to a place that we can all give them away, and that there's the members, the panel that you see here today, plus or minus one or two, can vote on those things and give them to the people that deserve them.
But can we also send some stuff to Winston Dow that goes directly to charity, to the man that rescues dogs, yeah?
Correct. We can, if Winston Dow's a sub-DAO of RAC FM, or if it's its own DAO, we can, even things like, hey, say we do a charity giveaway, right? RAC FM runs a Spaces for Angel Protocol, and we go, hey, tonight it's all about Angel Protocol. Donate to the treasury, and everything we get on this date, we push forward to Angel Protocol. We can do that in a way that's public, it's transparent. You know where the money's going. We vote on it, and you can see where those funds go.
Right. Okay, dude. I'm really going to come in here because I want to give Dead Right the mic, because RAC FM from the Raccoon family just went hot, and Rarma was missing last night. There's a big voice that's been a gulf missing there in the industry for the last few days. So Dead Right, we are going to go and touch on something, dude, right now that's like really on everybody's lips. But I just want to like pass over the mic in case you had any words before we bring up this topic.
Well, I don't know what it is, so I'll probably keep quiet for now.
Oh, I'd say the hub governance, and I'm doing this, guys, because I mean we've had one representative in the room from the start. We've had another one joined us. I did say last night that this would be like the big weekly show. If you could find the time to come on, I'd love to like get you on the mic. Yeah, Brian, I can see you. We'll bring you up in a second, Brian. I want to just like kind of preface this for maybe people who were missing last night or people who were late to the party. Rarma, you were missing last night, right? I haven't spoken to you today about it. What did you? I mean, I missed that space with Jake. What did you hear about last night, Rarma? Anything or nothing?
Well, it was unrecorded, so absolutely
Yes.
fuck all.
You've heard nothing. All right, okay, right. We were good enough to be joined
I
by
read the
Brian
proposal.
from. Okay.
Brian sent me the IPFS link and the Cosmos Hub link. I read it.
Right. So last night, though, we were joined by one then another, and there's a lot of things, you know. And I mentioned this last night, Rarma. Very quickly before we get into this, I just want everyone in the public to hear what you're going to say here, right? Two questions, and it's difficult now because this question was applicable. Well, the second one was applicable when there was one team. First of all, does the IBC hub or the hub, sorry, Cosmos hub, need a grants program right now? And then B, the second question was was this the team to run it? And the original one was in regards to the first team that's been put forward. Now another organisation or company's come in the running. So it's and also like Brian said last night, it's not about them competing. They can kind of complement one another. Rarma, do you want to just give a very, very quick summary before we bring some other people in to speak, and maybe all the panelists can have a quick word? Got any comments about either prop or what's going on?
Yeah, sure. So just quickly, I think brief summary. I think that the Cosmos Hub grants program, the first one, is made up of a group of people who are a bit more involved in the Cosmos. I think their proposal is a bit more detailed in terms of the specifics for Cosmos Hub. Alpha Grows, I think, is a very good proposal. It seems a bit more generalized, and it may not have as much detail hub specific than the first one. Cheaper, yeah, which is always good for a competing proposal, but it's always going to be very challenging for someone to come in that's not intricately involved and have as much insight into the way in which the hub operates that the current members do. That's
Playing. I tell you what, playing devil's advocate with you a little bit while I've got your one-on-one here. There's a lot of people there's a lot of people in the community that I've heard kind of feedback from, etc. That's said, look, this is just a civil attack. The first signaling prop, right? Because of the authors, etc., etc. People are like, look, this is just a civil attack. If you look at the community tax, that prop going through, which is obviously going to...
No, I think you misunderstood. Okay. You misunderstood. He said, let's keep things civil. So just calm down. We're going to be civilized here. And just let's be cool. Let's be like Fonzie, just be cool.
I'm just saying what other people in the community are saying. So there seems to be, because, Rarma, you could say that the second prop has come in as a reaction to the first one. And the first one is kind of maybe a follow-on from the failed 2.0. But then, obviously, the community tax has gone through, so there's funding there, although it's not the kind of money that ICF is sitting on, which is a lot more. And this Rarma,
so what I would say
is it a civil attack or not?
So what I would say is that the thing that both props are lacking is a specific vision that is very direct in the funding that they want to do. So, in my opinion, if you want to be a grants program for a specific chain, there should be a direction that you, as a grants program, would like to take that chain or the funding towards, or have been directed to take that chain towards. So Reverie is an example. They have a very clear direction that the Osmosis Foundation want to move them towards, right? That's very clear. They work hand in hand.
Talking about that, and Brian, don't worry, we will bring you up. Honestly, really respectful. We just want to kind of fill the audience in a little bit and get Rarma's thoughts, right? Did they have no, I don't want to use the word rival, but did they have a proposal up on Osmosis as well? I think somebody commented that the proposal between Osmosis and the one that's gone up. But yeah. Someone said they're pretty much the same.
I'm pretty sure it was us that hosted the spaces with Reverie, or I was at least a speaker with Reverie.
Yeah, you were.
Reverie hosted it. They may have brought us up, or me up to speak. But I remember Brian was there, discussed it in detail. The proposal was quite similar. That's on the hub now, not exactly the same, but similar. So what I'm saying is that if you want to do grants programs and you want to take a chain in a direction, I think it should be very clear what that direction is. It shouldn't be like a very generalized grants program with a lot of money to just spend money. And, this may be hypocritical of me being on the growth fund, but Juno has no like direction or vision. There is no like core one founders that are like, Juno is going in this direction. So what that direction is very much up to the grants program and the community as to how you want to move that chain forward. Because, core one is an entity, but they don't actually operate as a foundation that is, here is where Juno's going. So the community ultimately gets to decide. Whereas Osmosis is a very corporate body and an entity and an organization, and Atom is exactly the same. So there's very much founding bodies and founding people and a direction that chain is heading. And the grants program should work side by side with that until it doesn't.
Okay. Well, we've got Dead Right, we've got Finn, Bbandz, and Gaines, and I would love for them to have any comments they've got, and then we can bring like Brian up, yeah? Being good enough to come here, being very patient, yeah? Dead Right, any comments on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not the best for this particular topic. I guess there's been some niggles about something. I'll be honest, we obviously we follow as closely as we can, but Kujira itself also, there's not many founders, and the wider team is growing and stuff, but we do operate, how can I say it? So like we aren't really dependent on the hub as such. So we've used the tech and we respect the guys, and it's great. This is the kind of overarching community that we're in, but we try to stay out of I guess things like that, whether it comes to funding. What I will say with some of the stuff that I've seen, and this isn't actually just, it's not Juno, it's not the hub, it's not anyone in particular, it's just a bit more of a general comment about funds. I guess there's been a lot of people that I can assume it's maybe somebody asked for a bunch of money, and then there was some pushback, which we see quite a bit. But as a general comment, what I've seen with, if you just sort of like open the floodgates to a lot of funding, it's actually quite hard to get reliable teams. And I know it kind of sounds contradictory, but if you get guys that are coming along and asking for $1 million to build whatever, I don't even want to say the type of app because then it'll cause more drama. But $1 million, $1 million to build like something that's A, probably already built, and B, doesn't cost more than 50 grand. You're kind of inviting the grifter builders that are out there. And so like the way we've approached it, obviously we don't have the luxury of a fund worth hundreds of millions yet. That's being, obviously the growth of treasury is key, and that's something that we're doing. But yeah, so if when that kind of stuff happens, and I've seen it before, you just get these teams that are hiring a whack of people for no real reason. And I think it can take away some of that, like that dead clear clarity that you need. So yeah, that's just my like general comments on these really big funding pots. I do think everyone's largely motivated by money, and it can just bring out some tricky stuff. So yeah, with us, I guess it's really controlled. And now that we have the Senate, a really good group of people that are going to be, they're not just there to break your balls, right? They're there to actually, first and foremost, help you through, actually look at your numbers, actually look at your potential, like you would have to in the real world. Some of that seems to have been lost, right? Like if you go to a web 2 fund and ask for 100 grand, you better be prepared to get your knees dusty, it doesn't happen. Yeah, so look at it. You look at Dragon's Den, right? I'm talking about the British one. but it's the same everywhere. I assume you got people selling 40% of their companies for like £50,000, right? Like, and they're real businesses that have income often, and they have a brand, and they've done all this stuff. So anyway, I think there's two sides to it. You want teams that have a lot of grit, that believe in the vision and whatever, whether it's the leaders or who cares of how the chain is set up. So yeah, that's just kind of my general comments on the type of builders that I think you can attract if you go, hey, we've got like 200 million that we want to blow immediately and open the floodgates. Yeah.
You don't realize the fucking smell that you guys fucking have caused in other L1s, man, shipping as much as you have. It's fucking insane. We just sit on the sidelines, all of us, don't we, Finn? Rarma gets laughing. Like, we just probably like look at these salty fucking slow fucks. Like, dude, it's
right.
been
I need to interrupt here.
Sorry.
I have some very, very critical, brutal feedback. One particular product, Dead Right Dove, I'm very unhappy.
Oh dear. Hit me with it. Hit me.
All right. The pod. The greatest decentralization product, tool, feature you've ever added. But my man, when you want to unbond from 150 validators, one by fucking one. Oh my God. Okay. Like, I need an unbond all, my brother, please. Like, I've done this.
Hey, unbonding doesn't support the network. Okay.
No,
bonding supports the network, not unbonding.
From osmosis, and I'm trying to unbond so I can buy more Kuji. And I need to unbond from like 150 validators. And I'm unbonding one validator for like as much as I've bonded to them. Like, come on, please.
I mean, that sounds like a pleb problem.
I need a pod unbond all, please. Hook me up.
Fair enough. I guess it's like one of those things that you build, right? And you think to yourselves, do you want to open up a community tool that people kind of know is built? I mean, it says fucking Kujira in the URL. And then you have a big unbond all button for that can apply to any chain.
What was the reason why it's set up like that? Is it so we can just like remain staked forever?
No, I mean, not at all. I mean, I don't know.
Because legit, like I'm considering it with like my small amount of Osmo. I'm tempted to just leave it there forever and just forget the wallet. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Yeah, no, it's just, it's one of those feedback points that we didn't, it's not like we really intentionally said, let's not have that button. I think we just imagined this cool decentralization happening, and we built it out. So yeah, it wasn't really a case of ignoring it.
You've got to take this serious with the shit talking. The tool itself is very, very good for decentralization. And ultimately, like, if you decide to unbond, you're a fucking pleb anyway. It doesn't matter what chain it is. So, deal with the repercussions like your pleb Rarma has. Because
no, it's valid.
I get that all the time.
Boy, and move to a ledger.
Guys, your man dropped. Your man dropped. Your man dropped.
He's fine. He's a mad pleb. He's probably got to go to his pleb fiat job. Like, that's okay. Like, absolute pleb. Imagine having a fiat job at 1 a.m. on a Friday night. Like, what a loser. No, sorry.
I feel this pain, though.
So I have officially the least amount of Cosmos tokens staked in my duration of being a Cosmos soldier right this minute. They're all being unstaked. They're all being unstaked. They're all going to a ledger.
Hey, fair play, man.
do what you got to do.
I'm going to have to unstake them all and then restake them to my ledger stacks when it arrives in April.
Well, at least we're keeping your fingers busy, mate.
My missus.
Imagine thinking a ledger. Imagine thinking a ledger is going to protect yourself from the pleb clicks you're going to end up clicking, because that's what plebs do. Plebcac. You remember, Dub? You're probably old enough to remember Pebcac, right? Problem exists between chair and computer. Pebcac. This is Plebcac. Man. It's when people get their wallets grifted because they either Googled something and then installed it without looking and then got their whole system, compromised or whatever. Plebcac, it encompasses a myriad of things. So we do see that a lot here. And as far as like the design thing, I can feel your pain. People hit me up about terrace spaces all the time, and they tell me the most painfully obvious shit, but it's not shit I thought of because I know where things are there. But like, not everybody made the site, right? So it's like that feedback is super interesting and helpful because it's outside of, you know, how you guys are looking at things. You got to take that and you know, build on it, which is exactly what's being done, which is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely, Finn. Like, so we spend probably, well, large parts of our day, you know, taking in feedback on Twitter and Telegram. I mean, it can be like it's quite cool in these conversations, but you know, some people will dive into Telegram on a day and just be like, you will fix this, or you know, you must change this, and you're like, you what? Like, you know, there's a few things on the go, but yeah, we definitely always taking in stuff, and we've got some groups as well, like that help us test new things, and stuff always comes out of that. So yeah, it's a cool process, that whole UX thing. I mean,
I like that what you said there. I'm going to start using that when my girl's like, dinner's ready. I'll be like, I can't, I'm taking in feedback. Hold on. Just shit posting on Twitter. But like professionally, I'm taking in feedback, and that's important. I like that phrasing.
There we go.
Guys, I hate to interject. We have got someone up who's requested, because I take it your man, Brian, probably had a meeting or something he had to rush off to. We should have got him in a bit quicker, but you know, our bad, we'll learn. This guy's from Alpha Growth. They're Rarma. I think Bendy left as well. I don't know if Bendy's come back, but shall we bring this guy up like Rarma if you've got questions?
Bendy's here. Get him
Is
on.
he still here? Okay. Well, he wants
them debating. I want to see a master debate in this shit.
Well, if Bendy is able, he might be working, you know, but if he can, so it's Rebekka, is that? My eyes are not very good. Rebekka Pro, yeah? Okay, Rebekka, welcome. Hello there. You know what was the speaker, Rebekka? We should be able to hear you okay? Oh, did we lose her?
It's connecting. Currently connecting.
Okay. Android always behind, isn't it?
That's all right.
I just had a very, very quick look. I don't know. I mean, if it's Rebekka, I'm presuming it's going to be a lady. I didn't look at her position. Obviously, she works alongside Brian, I would presume, yeah. It's a shame your man had to drop. I did, guys, to be honest with you.
I still see Brian as a listener, by the way. Am I being
do you? Oh, okay. Well, it's just Android might be behind. I will say one thing, though, guys. He did say last night, he's like, I'll be able to drop in, I should be able to drop in for the last half an hour. So I was like surprised when I saw him and I thought, oh, okay, you know, he might have cleared some time, like, you know, finished a meeting early or something, so he's dropped in. And but literally, I didn't realize he might have been on a time scale, or I would have tried to get it in.
Rebekka might have been Brian on an alt account. He's back now. See if you can get him up.
Okay, it would have been nice to have him at the same time, you know.
Sure, you can tell I'm taking the piss. I think Brian's here now. Hello, Brian.
Hey. Yeah, sorry. Twitter was rugging me in the spaces. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. Bendy, can you give me a quick thumbs up or thumbs down? Do you want to come up here and chat? I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah, we have.
Brian, can you do us a favor and see what's up with Rebekka's connection?
Yeah, she was having problems too. I was actually here the whole entire time, and I didn't leave, and then I left and came back when you said you couldn't see me anymore. So Rebekka and Joe are here from the team. Would love to bring them up. We have Michael, we have Kirill, like in the audience as well. But Rebekka and Joe to come up would be rad too, as well, because they. I mean, we had
the full Alpha Grow cohort. Okay, we can be mad shill-pilled. Brian.
Hey! Listen! I can take the bullets myself too. Like, you know, it's all good.
Bendy says he's not currently available to take. He hasn't got his bulletproof vest on. He can't take all of the shots from Alpha Grow. Having said that, Mr. Bendy has taken plenty of shots this week on behalf of the Cosmos Hub Growth Fund. Directly from the RACs. So I feel like it's only fair that he sits back as a listener, repairs his wounds, and provides you guys the opportunity to cop a couple of 12 gauges to the chest, you know?
Jesus. Yeah. I mean, if we're going to get graphic, it's like...
I warned you last night, Brian.
Chopping block. Jeez.
Brian, I warned you last night. I said, mind if you come on, you know, it's like 1 a.m. for him. God bless your soul.
It's awesome.
1:23 to be specific.
You know,
well,
can I get have like a minute or two to kind of like explain kind of why we started pursuing this this opportunity? Is that okay?
Of course.
All right,
dude.
cool.
Of course.
Yeah. So,
2-minute cap.
2-minute cap.
Okay.
Done.
I'm just
All good. All good. It's 120 seconds. Got it. All right. So Monday, hopped on the Cephii Twitter Spaces. Wasn't even aware that Cosmos Hub was going to have a grants program or pushing for a grants program. And one of the main things that we saw right off the bat, or I was listening to right off the bat, started like getting like little things like pinging in my brain, was the lack of vision, or saying, hey, we on purpose don't have a lack of vision for the grants program at the Cosmos Hub, right? So I know just when that happens, what I've seen at other ecosystems, and I've seen, like Dead Rights was saying, $200 million funds, $500 million funds, it's become like slush funds for people, the founders' friends, right? And it just, there's lack of direction, there's lack of growth. You have this organization that kind of starts to grow in footprint without really like pushing very, very specific impact, right? So kind of taking a step back and looking at what happened, doing a little bit of research, it became really, really obvious, like that the tax proposal, Prop 88, was a way to fund something, right? It's like, if you're going to increase the taxes, you're going to spend the taxes somewhere. And then if you look at the background of the team that put out the initial grants proposal, they're basically some of the writers of the Atom 2.0 paper, right? And so if you dive into the Atom 2.0 paper and like understanding from my position, Atom 2.0, it was just sticker shock. If you're going to inflate a token like 400 million, like and dilute everybody like 14%, it's just like a nuts amount. However, I did like, and the team did like, a lot of the details or the plans within the Atom 2.0 paper. Just the initial sticker shock and the expense of like 400 million right off the bat is just so enormous. What if it doesn't work? What chains are going to signaling that they want to connect to the Cosmos Hub and have this type of like block space futures auction? Like, who is going to be, how much does MEV actually make, right? Everybody talks about MEV. Sure, it's like $1 billion a year on Ethereum, but how much is MEV really on Osmosis and some of these other chains? Is it really going to have like that much of an impact, right? We don't know yet, right? So kind of like fundamentally, if you take a little bit of the vision and some of the pushback that, Jay had, if you took a vision of like the Atom 2.0 white paper, there's a lot of good stuff in there. And then there's also things from our experience of running funds, doing some DeFi operations, some Ponzi-nomics with tokens to help token value be accretive and go up. We believe that we can really help out the Cosmos Hub with a very solid direction. So Rarma, I do have to push back on you on vision and a clear mandate, right? So the clear mandate would be...
Yeah, cool. So I think if you've got like an idea or a vision for the hub in terms of a grants program, could you like outline maybe like the top 3 things that you'd look for the hub to go towards?
Right.
If AlphaGrow was to get a grant, and I'm not saying like the grant, I'm saying a grants program that may run alongside the current proposal from the Cosmos Hub grants program.
Well, so they're, like I said, I'm not really sure, and the team explicitly said themselves they don't know what the vision is yet for their proposal, so I can't really speak to that. Our vision is that everything in the Atom token should have the same functionality as ETH and what it's used in for DeFi. I know DeFi will not be built on the hub, but getting Atom into order books, DEXs, lending and money markets, fixed rate lending, liquid staking, collateralized debt position, having yield strategies on top of Atom, derivatives and options, algos. I'm literally reading from my proposal. Algo stables, synthetics, reserve currency, concentrated liquidity, leveraged yield farming, prediction markets, indexes, privacy services, insurance. In terms of other infrastructure that we'll be looking for is different types of wallets. There's a Cosmos wallet being built right now that does sandwich attacks your own trades on Ethereum exchanges, but it's a Cosmos. It's a really rad idea. Fiat on ramps and off ramps, having payments being made with Atom, having a debit card for Atom, having more cross-chain communication with Atom, and picking a name service unified name service. So those are all things that we can do without updating the code specifically for the Cosmos Hub. The things along the lines that we need to update the code for on the Cosmos Hub need to be externalized the risk on potentially other consumer chains and app chains, right? So some of these things like cross-chain roll-up settlement, block space futures auctions, MEV acquisition, contract-based token swap, blocks up in vaults, liquid staking as a service, app chain as a service. These types of things should be experimental outside of the hub and tested and see how much demand there is before it comes back and is centralized back to the hub.
So, given that you're currently the person up here speaking, and the other proposers aren't, I'm gonna say that those things sound very boring and not very innovative. No, like right, they do. Like, hey, let's replicate everything that's currently on Ethereum to the hub. The hub.
Okay, not maybe. I don't know if you can hear me, but like not to replicate, but like we see like that it worked right on Ethereum. With,
yeah, but it's
Ethereum.
So the hub is known for being very innovative. Like it created IBC, it built the interchain ecosystem, right? We don't want to replicate what other ecosystems are doing. We want to build new shit. And what I'm saying is that I'm happy for a grants program, any grants program, I don't care what it is, to spend a certain amount of money to build new things that no other ecosystem is doing, with a chance that like 3 or 4 out of 5 of those things fail, but it makes the hub fucking amazing and the rest of the Cosmos ecosystem stand out from the rest of the crypto ecosystem.
Okay, cool. I like innovation too. 95% of innovation is going to fail. So it's a much more experimental. I think there's some easy wins right after the bat. And when we go and we talk to an ecosystem or a token or a project, what's the end game? It should be kind of like the question in mind. And the end game we think that should be for tokens like Atom is to become a commodity and be declared as a commodity in the United States. Because once it's declared as a commodity, all of these other unlocks start to happen. The way that you get it as a commodity is you have to be like Ethereum. You have to be everywhere. You have to be spread across so many pools, so many DeFi things, and across so many different wallets that nobody can manipulate the price anymore. Not a single whale or even a consortium of whales can manipulate the price. And so that is our belief, and that is our proposal, and that's what we do, and that's what we sell to ecosystems. Let's get you in so many wallets, so many PNL, so many money markets that nobody can manipulate your token anymore, and you can get declared as a commodity by the US government. I know we're in a global economy, but that's our goal.
Big statement, big word. That's a big statement, that, yeah. Getting a class as a commodity. Rarma?
I don't know, man. Like, as an Australian, like, centralizing a token or an ecosystem or innovation around the boring old fucking shitty America system sounds so fucking 1980s, man. Like, honestly, like the entire goal of crypto is to get the fuck away from the American dollar and the American political system, and this isn't just like an AlphaGo thing. Like, this is just my feelings as like this random Australian dude sitting on his deck sinking a beer in 38-degree weather. Like, I don't fucking understand it or care about it. I'm like, the faster we can get away from anything American related and just make some shit fucking global that doesn't care about regulation or political systems or ecosystems, the better. And I feel like the Cosmos ecosystem, and not just the hub, and I know that we're talking about the hub, but like the Cosmos ecosystem is the best thing we currently have to move away from that. And I don't want to move the hub to a situation where we go down this path of like, hey, let's make this thing suited so fucking well that the American government can't touch it, and let's go the complete opposite direction and go, let's make it so it's so fucking big the American government can't touch it.
I think we're saying the same things. Like,
no, like, I don't think we are. Like, you're saying, hey, let's put this in as many fucking hands as we can that the American government has to deal with it.
No,
I'm
no,
saying,
can't
let's
touch
make
it.
it so
I'm saying the
fucking
same
big
thing.
that the American government
By
doesn't have a choice but to accept it.
No, you can't touch a commodity. That's what he's saying. So it's not a security; it's a commodity.
correct.
That's the difference.
Once it's
Gaines has got his hand up there. Gaines.
Go for it, Gaines. I don't understand the American system that well because I fucking hate it, and I hate all the things that you
the
guys
governed
deal
by-
with.
So don't
It's so
talk
dumb.
about things you don't understand, Rarma.
Right.
I
Well, let me
feel
just,
every
guys,
single day of the
listen. Let me
week
say
is
something
so
very
dumb.
quickly. Let me quickly, preface this. Listen, it's a crypto's dream to be declared a commodity. That's all I'm saying. Because it's governed by a different bunch of people, not the SEC, etc., right? Gaines, you had your hand up there, dude.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the mic. Been here for a little while now. It's nice to be able to speak. I would like to get to know Alpha Growth more, to be honest, before we even
Just
think
changing it
about
up a little notch there, little Squid.
even before deep diving into the proposal they put up. I think it's important that we get to know more about Alpha Growth. Where do they come from? Who's their partner? How much has been invested in Alpha Growth? Where they started? So how about we give Brian the mic here and just pitch us Alpha Growth for a little bit? Is that okay, Brian?
Yeah, totally.
Are we cool with that?
Yeah. So my story is in 2011, I started building a payments mobile app, and we raised money. It was called Secure Pay. You could take a picture of something and instantly purchase it on the iPhone. I lost money. I raised some money. We didn't make any money. My tech lead at the time threw up a Bitcoin node. Around 2012 was the only thing that made money at my company. In 2013, I got into Bitcoin pretty heavily, started mining a lot, moved the family out to San Francisco, was part of building the front end of an exchange that ended up handling Silk Road's DFJ and the Silk Road first auction. And then, I went to zero in crypto and went back into TradeFi. So I say that every time I have another baby, I go to zero in crypto. I just had my third baby in July. This time I didn't go to zero, but it was pretty damn close. And stuck around in crypto this time. So generally on the upswing, I come back in. I've been trading the whole entire time. Probably in the Cosmos ecosystem in particular, got really pulled back into crypto in 2020 when DeFi started ramping up. I've helped build exchanges. I've worked at an investment bank before, running computer matching algorithms, matching companies to PE firms. Kind of like that's the one of the things that we do for ecosystems is like we're tracking all the data on 24,000 different crypto projects. And then most of the time ecosystems come to us with investment criteria or ecosystem criteria of what they're looking for. We run their matching criteria through our database. We pop up a couple hundred to a couple thousand different projects that would be suitable for their ecosystem. And then we BD into those projects to figure out how much it's going to take for them to build on the different ecosystems. We've been doing that since 2021. In the Cosmos space, we've helped out. I ran all of the marketing and growth for Sommelier Finance from December 2020 to January 2022. And so if you touched a piece of content for Sommelier in 2021, Alpha Growth had its hands on it. We're now helping in the Cosmos ecosystem Kava. Our mandate at Kava was to bring 100 DeFi apps. We're on like 44 different dApps that have already been launched or are launching on Kava. And let's see what else. We did put a proposal that's similar to Osmosis. Our playbook is similar for different ecosystems because it works. So our pitch is kind of the same. We want to, usually it's, hey, let's bring a lot of dApps onto the chain, onto the ecosystem, and then let's figure out what kind of DeFi games that we can play to help spread the token and help get the token adopted and turn it eventually into a commodity. So our pitch is pretty much the same to a bunch of different ecosystems. Rebekka has been with us for about a year and a half. I met her when we were working on the Near project. Rad individual, and Joe's been with us for a year. I've been working with Michael for 6 years. Kirill been working with for almost 2 years. We have like 5 core members of the team and a contracted BD team of about 10 people. and are just banging away in Telegram and Discord all day long. Michael and I have been working on data and data things for 6-7 years, and this is our second data company that we've been running together.
Cool. So just thanks for that, Brian. Just quickly, like, who's like CEO, head of, etc. at Alpha?
I'm CEO.
Right.
Rebekka is operations, and Joe is BD. Michael is tech. Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Just curious because like
How are you guys
I normally
funded?
like look at people's profiles and it's like, CEO of X, and I don't really see that in your profile, and just curious.
Yeah.
Brian, how are you guys funded in 2021? Who gave you guys some funding to start?
Nobody. I funded it. We're bootstrapped. Service revenue.
Where's the company registered?
United States.
Okay.
So you guys just like popped up in like 2021, like you just like, yo, I'm gonna create like a grants program company in 2021.
It wasn't that straightforward, to be honest. When I joined the team, we started working with Aurora, which is EVM of Near. And basically I was the project manager of this endeavor that we got ourselves into. And through BD and, doing it at scale, talking to people and talking to the chain, we were connecting the dots, like what is needed from developer standpoint and what is needed from the chain standpoint. So Aurora was the first case for us working with ecosystem. And because of the crash, everything happened because we also did a go-to-market tokenomics and, general consulting for Web3 projects. All of us are advisors for especially early stage projects. Again, just because we are so in the space and we know where you can plug in, where you can begin, where you can start. And basically, after ready in summer with all of the data that we put in public, by the way, guys, it's free of use. You can research any projects you want on chain, off chain data. We just found that with the connection and connection points that we have, we actually should target chains and developers because this is the two tracks. I constantly talk to chains and I constantly talk to developers. And this is my goal is just connecting the dots within the Web3 space, and Cosmos being the most sought out ecosystem ever. I just really want to make it more intemperable for developers who are not Cosmos aware, but they really appreciate what you guys have built as a community on Cosmos. Yeah, this is just my spiel.
Bbandz, you got any other questions?
I think I understand what. So you're just. I'm trying to. I understand, but I kind of I'm not sure. I don't want to ask the question and sound stupid. That's why I was asking in the chat.
Please
guys.
ask.
Go ahead, Bbandz. Go ahead. There'll be people in the audience. Bbandz, there'll be people in the audience with the same question. Not everybody. No, but not everybody can wrap their head around governance and stuff.
So,
don't worry.
So my question is it okay, is it like a data salesman for a project? You find that you have all this data and then you take that data that the different dApps, different projects for them to launch on a specific chain, and then after that, after you get that on the ecosystem, and then you guys kind of market that chain's token. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, I'd say.
And if y'all laugh, don't put the laugh emoji.
No, that's pretty accurate. I think sequencing may be a little bit off in the time frame of things. So at first, what happens in a lot of different ecosystems is they get some piece of success, either they got the right market makers or the right investors and they got the right narrative, right? And this is talking about on one of the other calls, having a narrative of where a chain and where an ecosystem going is super, super important because otherwise it gets so very expensive to attract developers just for cash and cash alone. So narrative and strategy comes first. What is your narrative? What type of projects do you want? What's your roadmap? When you have a clear narrative, there's a clear message that you can go to projects. The next thing we do is after narrative and strategy, it's prospecting, targeting, right? So out of those 24,000 or, even there's about 1,500 or 2,000 hackathon registrants that we're tracking every year. and about 1,000 new projects a month that are saying, hey, we're in crypto on GitHub, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. We're aggregating and scraping all that data. We put some algorithms on it. We put some NLP on it, some categorization, and here's all the things that are available. Once we have the ecosystem's narrative and criteria, we sort rank that and we stack rank all of the projects that would kind of fit that. And then we kind of go manually through that. We take those 24,000 things and they become 1,000 things. And then our research team and myself, we kind of get handpicked through it. Okay, here's the first top 500 that match you the best. We'll call that tier one. Well, here's the next 500 that match you the best, or 1,000 that'll match you the best. For Kava, I think our list is like 2,800, and we've been in contact with over 2,500 of those projects. They've either told us no, not yet, or how much money that they want to converge over. And we have a very, very specific strategy on a BD team of creating the sequence. We create the content, we create the customer, the project onboarding journey, we create Notion boards for them. We create a step-by-step tools of how they get the grants. We have a CRM, a verticalized CRM that tracks once an ecosystem and a project say they want to meet, they both hit a button, a Telegram group is generated for them, and they can start negotiating the final details in a Telegram chat. Like, we know what we're doing.
Are you trying to create like a Salesforce?
Yeah, I guess like what I might add to that is like, that sounds very like computerized or algorithmic and not really actually not engaged with the community and what their real thoughts might be. Like, I know like how you can like, you can troll, you can screen, social media, and you can gauge like sentiment or like keywords or thoughts. But that's not always what the real community thinks or means when you can buy bots and stuff, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not following.
I guess, are you referring to community like the users actually of the
yeah, well, you were just saying products? Like you were screening like social media and stuff, right?
But I mean, this is just like obviously, like social media numbers create, first of all, that there's community, and like let's be straightforward, that a project has money, right?
Well, so Atom 2.0 as a proposal, right, is a perfect example how this is completely false, because both sides of that argument paid people to socially promote their narrative or promote a narrative or an agenda. And that's not like what the real community thinks.
That is a very, in like very specific proposal. That is not necessarily a quote unquote project until it has an entity, until it has a social media profile on it. It would not pop up on our radar until there's an actual organization around it, either a Twitter or a GitHub or something along those lines.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like, using that stuff is good in general, but like, and it would probably work for 90% of the Cosmos ecosystem, right? Like if you went to Juno or Osmo or, Kava as an example, that's probably okay. But Atom as a chain is so politically motivated and incentivized that there is money behind both sides of a discussion, doesn't matter what side or what the proposal is, that they can throw like a lot of money behind a narrative and promote it, and your algorithm will pick it up and go with that narrative.
Okay. I mean, we put a proposal up. If the community doesn't like it or don't think it's a good idea and they guys tell us to go away, we'll go away.
Yeah, no,
Wait,
no,
real quick. Rarma, at one point that I think is being misconstrued here, we don't use our algorithms to define the narrative of an ecosystem. We work with the ecosystem foundation, the core team members, the community to come up with that narrative. And then that's how we come up with the breadbasket.
Cool. So that was like the missing piece, right? It was like, hey, we don't just use like social media. There's other forms of engagement to like decide where we head, right?
Yeah, this is just like, giving you like a bread basket, right? I mean, like a bread box, whatever. Like this is like the TAM that of developers that are reachable to maybe deploy on this chain, right? But everything is like, again, like because of Web3, because of limitations, I'm not going to go into that. you still need to go into hand-to-hand combat. You still need to get on calls. You still need to meet people. We attend all conferences. Like I attend all the side events in my city, for example, Web3 related, because I do need to see developers in person and what they're building. So it's not like programmatically as it was assumed.
Yeah, cool. I guess last question that I have, and then I'll shut
Sure.
up. In terms of the proposal itself, it seemed like reasonably cheap for me when I looked at it for the scale and the size of the proposal. How does like Alpha Grow, and you don't need to get in details, like how does Alpha Grow like, benefit or profit from this? Is it like the marketing of being accepted and running the grants program, or is it the funding itself that you get awarded? I'm unsure because like there's a pretty big difference between the two proposals. So just interested in your model for that, roughly.
Yeah, I would say, kind of the two different proposals, we know what it takes to have in terms of like marketing budget and ad spend of attracting the best developers. I can tell you like right off the bat, running some events in ETH Paris, hackathons there in Austin, it takes you about $350 per person to get them in seat on location in a hackathon. Virtually, it's in the like anywhere from the 50 to 100, depending upon how big the brand is. We've ran hackathons for individuals and developers. So once we get clarity on the narrative, and if everybody's like, hey, this is a great narrative, push on that, then two big things that we're going to be doing is within the next 6 months is running Cosmos hackathons. At maybe if it's as soon as ETH Denver, then cool, ETH Denver, or maybe like Consensus or something like that, or some other events, or Token 249, depending upon when this proposal goes through. We, Kava's already give interest as co-sponsoring that hackathon. I'm, friends with Secret and Sommelier and a bunch, and would love Kajira to like jump in on the hackathon as well, and then having a Cosmos-based hackathons at these events. So that's kind of like 20 to 30% of the service fee in our proposal is based upon sponsoring hackathons and ad spends of attracting developers. That's one key difference. I didn't see any marketing in the other proposal. It comes out to be about $50,000 a month is what our service fee is. And based upon that service fee, that covers BD, that covers, we have a software license, basically like, hey, for a year, that's the first fee, the setup fee. There's a lot of kind of discovery. If you look at the scale of how the different grants layout goes, I don't think we're going to actually deploy that many grants in month one. The vision here is around, really, there was a lot of good parts of Atom 2.0. It just seemed a little bit risky to completely inflate the hub's token by 14%. Like I said, like how much is MEV actually going to create? What different app chains want to have a futures auction on block space? And really going through that process of calculating how much revenue that could potentially make and what other chains that want to get in on that game. And then maybe running some experiments on different consumer and app chains before we kind of build it directly core into the hub without really understanding what the total addressable market is or how much revenue can be created. And so a lot of it is going to be discovery, like month one, month two, coordinating with the different app chains, and then starting to deploy grants more vigorously 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So do I think anything in the first 3 months will specifically build on the Cosmos Hub? I don't. Month 4, 5, 6, I do, right? So we can start to, like, one of my friends came up with this quote. He goes, you want to decentralize innovation and centralize profits, right? So that's the thing. It's a lot of the grants are going to be applied externally from the hub as a form of experimentation, and then centralize what works back to the hub. And that might be more expensive to build than we come in what we laid out, but at least we will understand what's working and what's not.
Can you say that one more time? You said your friend said decentralized. You said something. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. You want to decentralize innovation and centralize profits. I mean, that's the story of Amazon and AWS, right? So they basically take like some commodity thing like Redis, and Redis is an open source project, and they centralize and they eat up all the profits. That's why EC2 and Amazon's so profitable, and the whole entire AWS thing, right? So every single consumer chain and app chain on Cosmos should be thought of as an experiment of what should eventually potentially be on the hub, right? Like there's, if you kind of like play it out, it's like, is it an app chain world, or is it a megalopolis world, an ecosystem chain? And I think you're going to have both, right? So I think you're going to have like things that are super profitable. If you take in the Web2 space, if you look at like Amazon or Facebook or Twitter, like those will obviously end up being app chains, but most people don't run their own data centers. Most projects don't run their own data centers. And so they'll be part of an ecosystem until they have enough escape velocity to build their own app chain. Hello?
I think you just, I don't know, something happened to the room. Anybody? Rarma? Squids?
I mean,
Okay.
Y'all got something to say? Because there was like a silence for a really long time.
Yeah.
I didn't specifically have anything
Sorry.
to say, but I started getting uncomfortable.
No, I'm just looking at the Alpha Growth website here. I'm just poking around and just seeing like, possibly if I could find any reviews that other projects have given Alpha Growth. Maybe Brian, you can point me in that direction. I can't find it on your website.
We were just talking about this yesterday. We do have impact reports for Aurora and Kava and Near and Meter and Thundercore. We're not exactly sure what we can share yet. We have to kind of get clarity on impact reports of whether we're allowed to share that or not. But Rebekka, we definitely have to put something together on that. We can get referrals and you can talk to Scott from Kava. You can talk to like Danny over there.
Brian, you mentioned Carver there. I'm getting DMs from people saying like Carver, Red Flag, Bbandz. What Bbandz? You're DMing the horse group. What's your problem with Carver, Bbandz?
Oh no, I was just asking about Kava, like, Robo. I can say exactly what I said in the DMs if you'd like.
Well, wait a minute though. Like across the industry for quite a while, has there been a large level of concern about Carver? Yes or no? And Gaines and Rarma can jump in because your pod friends as well.
Because I'm here on the Alpha Growth website, and I got a pop that says get free access to growth signals on 15,000 plus crypto projects. What the hell is this, Brian? I mean, come on, dude.
I'm sorry, it's free data.
Yeah, but why am I being violated with this pop-up? I don't need that.
Well, it's part of our marketing strategy. We are a business, and you give over your email so that you get access to our data for free.
Is this where I can find like reviews on the projects that you guys helped, or is this more of like just like metrics and stuff?
Yeah, we track 24,000 projects now, and effectively you can get the data for free by logging in, and then you can sort by DeFi. We have lists on fastest growing TVL, fastest growing users, fastest growing wallet adoption, on-chain and off-chain data, fastest growing by Telegram, by socials, by Discord. We're tracking 1.5 million data points on a daily basis that come into our website.
So just quickly on that point, right? So when I asked like, how does Alpha Grow make its money? Is it like selling users data, promoting data to users, or is it from the grants programs themselves?
Currently, about 90% of our revenue comes from ecosystems. We have a couple marketing clients as well. Like I said, running events, hackathons, things of that nature, helping them. We do help advise some companies in exchange for token. On around fundraising, we are going to be building a fundraising portal within the next 3 months, where we've gotten indication from about 40 some different investors that they want access to every single project that comes in for a grant. They want to look at them and see if they want to invest in them. We just hit, I think, 800 some. I can take a look from the reports this morning. There's about 800 some projects that have came in through our inbound funnel. We do advertise. We spend $5 to $10K a month on advertising new projects. We manually go out to projects that have gone on the hackathons, and this data is, it's unique and proprietary that you won't find anywhere else.
All right, cool.
822 grant submissions. 822 grant submissions. 23,761 projects. We have 3,658 people on our platform. We've connected 20 on the platform. This is not off platform, but on platform. We've connected 2,153 projects to ecosystems. And yeah, we're tracking.
Hey, real quick, can you take that data and like feed it to an AI and have it spit me out a proposal that won't constantly get shit on?
I wish, bro.
Thank you, Mr. Finn Anglington. On like a slightly more like serious topic. So I heard you being like a bit critical about Atom 2.0 tokenomics, and I 100% agree, right? Like I'm not in favor of like minting a shitload of tokens to like make money out of nowhere to then spend on like ecosystem growth or, you know, councils or treasuries or whatever, right? You said you work with Kava. Did they not just do the exact same thing?
So they reduced the staking fee, and by reducing the staking fee, they are started to create a community tax on the emissions and to fund the Kava Rise program. So it's actually almost exactly like what the current trajectory of the Cosmos Hub is right now. And so the emissions now go to the developers based upon how much TVL that they have. And I think it's a very good retention program, right? So what we found, and this is a little bit of alpha, just kind of for the industry nerds that are running ecosystems and stuff, is that TVL as a liquidity incentive on top of TVL, it's 7.5% APR paid out monthly on top of the TVL that you have, is not that good. If you think about a funnel, it's not that significant of an acquisition based incentive, right? It's more of a retention based incentive. Like a lot of these projects are used to getting 25K, 50K, like 100K off the bat just to come over and go multi-chain. The TVL incentives is a phenomenal incentive structure for projects to stay on and continue to push their audience towards Kava chain, right? So to the Kava EVM. And so, I mean, there's learning, right? So at Aurora, it was most of it was like liquidity incentives and upfront grants. Kava was like, hey, we're gonna align with the metric that we want to push out the most, which is TVL. And each ecosystem has their own vision and narrative. And once you have a vision and narrative and you can clearly communicate that to a larger audience, then it becomes easier to attract those projects through like an inbound flywheel. At first, it's like people are super confused, like, what's this chain about? And you know, we do not have a marketing contract with Kava, and so they just did hire a new kind of head of marketing, and so there's going to be some programs about, you know, promoting Kava coming up soon, which is pretty cool because that helps us. But within our community and you know, all the projects on Alpha Growth and everybody we touch, we've had I forget the question. We had a pretty good. We're learning.
No, sorry, all right. I'm happy to jump in. Like, so you said you work with Kava. Was there a contract, and that contract no longer exists?
No,
they're going with their own thing, or
no? We still have a contract with Kava, ongoing. Yeah, we have a mandate to bring 100 DeFi dApps to Kava EVM.
Gotcha. No, cool. I was just like, because I remember you said like you work with them, and then you just mentioned like they're doing their own marketing thing. So I was just curious. Like,
I'm saying we don't have a marketing contract with them. Like part of the problem,
you've got a mandate to bring DeFi products.
Yeah, part
like
of the
grant type program.
Yeah, it's 6-7 months ago. Kava launched like an Evmos based fork of EVM, and like nobody knows about it in the industry. So when literally like every time we go to a new project and say, "Hey, Kava has this liquidity incentive program," they're like, "Yo, aren't you guys Cosmos?" And they're like, "No, it's an EVM based thing now," and we have to kind of re-explain and re-educate like the Evmos fork in EVM. And that's like literally we're educating like 2,500 different projects about how an EVM can work on top of Cosmos, because most Ethereum projects don't understand that you can have like an EVM like sort of pseudo layer 2 on top of a Cosmos chain.
Well, on that point, and I don't mean to interject or anything, Rarma or Brian or whatever, but I am very conscious about our guest. Dead Right, who's been sitting here very, very, very patiently, very active, and he's been no doubt sitting back, listening, taking some things, and I know he's a very busy man. Hello, Dead Right.
Hello. Yeah,
hello.
no.
All right,
Dead Right Dove, Mr. Dead Right Dove, you're awake. I'm so glad. I have a question for you.
Yeah. Shoot.
Are you interested in opening a grant program?
Yeah, we are. Well, I don't know if we can call it a grant.
I'm offering a seat at the table. Just saying, you know what I mean? Like, as the fucking interviewer of the
Rarma.
You know what I'm saying?
Cheeky man.
Can't take him anywhere. You can't take him anywhere, man. Honestly,
literally, I know. I'm jealous. He must be a few beers in by now. Like, yeah, I'm biding my time. Yeah, I know.
Shipped over there on the board.
Well, he's Australian, right? So, yeah, it goes like that.
His eyes are too close together, you know. Anything you've heard tonight, has it interested you? Like listening about the hub governance? There's obviously, I hate to use the word rival. That's not the right. You know, two contrasting proposals, or maybe not so much. Did you hear anything tonight that?
Yeah.
You thought, oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as I said, I can see kind of both sides, and there's no silver bullet with this stuff, right? It's always tricky. Like I've seen amazing proposals put down, and then some ones that you think like, whoa, how did that pass? So yeah, I'm not going to kind of throw any shade on anything. I to be honest, I don't know enough. It was just quite good to listen to everyone speak and kind of get to know it. Other than that, I mean, probably a boring answer, but yeah, I mean, it was just interesting to actually hear about the approach and how the guys work. So yeah, no real comment, just a fly on the wall.
Dead Right Dove. He's way too humble. He's way too sweet. He just sits back. He's just like, I wish I could have got that last hour back, and I could have been sitting here managing the Coogee team, writing some code instead of listening to these fucking RAC.
Because he read Robo's tweet. He read Robo's
me back up here on these fucking spaces yet again. At least this time I wasn't grilled. I got to listen to someone else get grilled. Just a step forward. Next time, maybe they'll be shilling some Coogee.
He read my tweet. He read my tweet. He's like, get me on that fucking show. My tweet was like 2023 Coogee for the win. That was it. Yeah, man. No,
we really are blessed. Like Brian, Dead Right Dove, Rebekka, Joe. Like honestly, thanks for coming up. It's so good. I'm not ending the show, by the way. I'm just saying, like, thank you so much. We're honored. Like, we've been running the show for a few weeks in like this new format, and we're really blessed to get you up here. Stealing Robo's fucking host role. He'll be in the DMs like, Rarma yet again.
You're good. Your man's good. We leave. Hey, what's the saying? Hey, we leave no man or woman behind. That's it. We take everybody with us, right? Everyone gets a voice. That's how it should be, no?
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure, guys. Jokes aside, it's always good being on here, and especially as you said, not being in the firing line is pretty nice. Good to feel relaxed on one of these.
Bro, what the fuck happened, dude? We blew Twitter up. I was saying, like, hey, what's happening with the spaces? I was getting rogued like never before, dude. That space hit nearly 4K listeners. I was like, what the fuck? I was crazy.
No, but it was good, man. It was good for us, actually. As I said to you when we were chatting about that, like, I never have a problem chatting about any of that stuff. It's just, I guess things on Twitter and stuff, they go wild so quickly that, we all know this, right? you don't have a chance. You just sort of wake up and you're like, oh, here we go again,
Well, and no perspective. Yeah. There's often no perspective.
That's it. Yeah. People are just reading one tweet and then freaking out. And yeah, it's important to have the voice and to chat through it. So honestly, it's
I think
pleasure.
the real hidden gem here is the alpha about the Web3 spam list data selling. I think that's the business to get into. There's a lot of data there. There's a lot of people that want that data. I bet it goes for a lot more than your normal Web2 email list. Also, dead right. According to Mr. Gadikin and the All Nodes debacle, the key handling debacle. I just had a quick question for you. Do any of the Kuji validators run all nodes, and are you aware of how they handle their keys, their customers' keys, their keys?
As far as we're aware, that is definitely isn't an issue. I think that was quite a specific thing, right? So yeah, we've kind of made sure that isn't an issue on Kujira. So yeah, all good there.
One last question.
Thank you. That makes me so much feel better. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thank you so much. One question. It's a very specific question to Ratov. A bit southeast field from where you are. Can you please improve the SDK to enable me to run a node from my Australian house so I can validate Kuji, please?
Yeah. So what's happening there exactly?
Well, you know,
he's using satellite internet.
Well,
25 years, no, he's 25 years behind.
Not quite that bad, but
25 years
hey,
behind.
I'm running like 100 down, 40 up.
Okay.
Pretty consistent, but like 40 up. I've heard that I need like, can I run a node? What do you
Why not, mate? Get one of your lizard friends to help out. Can be staff, you know.
Bro, what the fuck?
You could put one of those little wireless access points. You could strap one onto those lizards and have a huge mobile mesh network of fiber speed internet.
I'm calling my mate Elon.
Weird.
I'm getting some Starlink. All right.
Yeah.
Rarma, holy Rarma, you don't even know about Signal yesterday. Signal did the best impression of you that I've ever heard in my life. I think Bbandz was there.
No,
Bbandz, were you there?
They didn't. They didn't.
Oh, Signal.
Because they're in the DMs. They're in the DMs. They better be here, by the way. They're in the DMs constantly sucking up, being like, "Oh my God, Rarma, I'm so glad you're like pushing through the wind incentive gauge change," and they're shitting on me, ripping on my accent in spaces.
He said,
God, you
Mr.
just
B,
fucking wait until I get to those
Mr. B,
right?
Mr. B, my friend, right? He was like, I don't know if I should do this. Is this recorded? We were like, no. And he said, oh, this is Rarma, you know? Like Signal's like, does his own voice? And he's like, I don't know if I should visit Australia or not. And then he says, this is Rarma's answer. Hey, mate, fucking up to you, mate. You can fucking come in if you want. And if not, fuck off.
I don't give a shit if you come here.
That's what he said. He's like, I give a shit. Like, dude, he killed you. He buried you like on fucking Wounded Hill. Oh my God, it was beautiful to witness. I don't know. I thought Bbandz was
just be mindful of time. I don't
what
want
a
to
show.
Fuddington do OT.
Right, what a show. Let's say Finn always complains. It's around 2 hours, right? And he's like, "Hey, pipe down, pipe
got
down."
His hand up. Little Squid's barely working tonight, please.
Finn's gonna come in. He's like, "Hey, you rats, come on, wind it up in a minute." Squid.
Hey.
Hand up,
Yeah. Thanks for the mic again. I'm doing some squiddy stuff over here.
I'm talking squats.
I'm talking to Zachy. Just getting some feedback on how Alpha Growth did for them with Sam, and I'll report back to you guys later in some DMs.
Was that Columbo? Was that Columbo making a fucking quick appearance?
He's like, and I got another question here. Earlier when we were talking.
I thought he was bipolar. He might be playing Cagney and Lacey or something here, you know? I don't know. No one knows what Bbandz is up to right now. But wait a minute, though.
Bbandz has got some spice tonight, man. What's going on?
Has he, you know? Bbandz, what's it been like having Dead Right as our, like, guest panelist tonight? It's been fantastic, hasn't it? I've loved it.
I absolutely loved it. You should come more often.
Thank you. Thank you.
Imagine if Dead Right Dove followed me so he'd know when I'm on spaces, you know? Like, that'd be incredible. Holy shit.
That is awkward.
We.
Listen,
it's okay. He doesn't follow me either, and I don't feel bad about that. You know, like I
definitely don't
have content.
I absolutely love the fact of like thinking about DAO outposts on Kujira. I think because it's didn't Jake talk about it's not about CW20s with the upgrade. It's native Cosmwasm as well. Is that right, Rarma? He mentioned something about that the other day, right?
Native Cosmwasm, token factory, doesn't fucking matter. Just
Kujira,
the fucking contracts.
Yeah, Kujira
native functionality.
Cosmwasm, right? They're not CW20s, they're natives, right? Right,
Yeah.
Dead right.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly right. Yeah, no, it sounds wicked.
Dude, I mean, if you have a Stars outpost and a fucking Dow outpost, honestly, I might just like move my entire fucking net wealth over there. Like, like why would you? Dude, before you go, I just want to say the projects, the apps are fucking lit as fuck. Like literally, there's nobody complained about using Kujira. Like, absolutely nobody. Everybody's like, that's fucking such a dream. Like, all of it. So you've really like, the community fucking love the product too.
Appreciate it. And we got Ghost coming soon. So yeah. And as I said, good stuff, like really branching out across Ethereum, via Axelar and Gravity and stuff. And some wicked stuff. Actually, you can now buy Kuji and USK with ETH or USDC on Uni actually. So we're just working a bit more on that and putting it into our UI. So a few more little goodies for the peeps, and some Ghost is going to be a pretty significant project. The wallet, working hard on that. I know it's taken a bit longer, but we had to kick this flywheel into shape first. So cheers guys. It's always a pleasure, truly.
Yeah, Ghost.
I'm watching you. TVL. I'm watching these TVL, mate, Rarma. Raccoons are sniffing all over that TVL. We want a casino. Rarma. We want a casino over there. Shut up.
Final notes on Ghost. I'd just like to say,
Was that you saying something, or one of the giant lizards?
I was just being Ghost.
Yawning.
It's the Australian way of saying like, ooh.
Okay, sweet. Oh yeah, you kind of got close to something there, but yeah.
Dude, I just want to say before we end the show, I will spin up a quick one, guys, for you guys to shit talk while I'm busy. I'm gonna get some food and stuff like that and take the dogs and stuff. But I'll host one on my account, right? Because I see Bendy actually did like request to come up. I just want to mention a couple of things and make a suggestion. Dead right. I just want to tell you, next week's guest is one of your Senate members, Ryan the Lion. So I planned this like 3 weeks ago or something. So I'm really buzzing about it.
I'm just calling this one early. I'm not gonna fucking be there. I'm not being there with Ryan the Lion and Seppi on the same spaces. I will be MIA. So if you want to talk shit, I'm not gonna be there. All right?
That's unfortunate, because I thought this was finally going to be our chance to prove that Rarma and Ryan Lion are two different people. That's interesting. Interesting. Interesting that you say that you cannot be there when he is there. Very, very interesting. Okay.
Are they never in the room together, and do they never like talk at the same time? Seriously?
Is Ryan the rumors are, Bbandz, the rumors are that like Ryan is the twin that managed to like control his autism. Like that's the rumors. Like they were separated at birth, both of them, identical twins, and one was sent on the boat, on the jail boat over there. Is that right, Rarma?
Over there. Over there, the bad place.
Fucking hell. And can we give Brian a shout out on the team? Listen, guys, we are only as fucking strong as the people who come and talk to us. We never shy away. We've always said this, but my God, will we provide a platform for everybody to openly state their piece, or, you know what I mean? That's what real decentralization is. It's not like, this one or this one. And that's what I meant. Bendy, Finn wants me to keep this show. He's going to probably cut some out under 2 hours. So I am going to end, but I will kick one up for you to talk. If you want to come in, Bendy, that's fine, whatever. But I just want to make a suggestion. I think Cosmos Spaces, who are brilliant moderators, pacifiers, all sorts of stuff, right? Cosmos Spaces, validated that run Twitter Spaces, should maybe do, I think, an important space right at the beginning of next week, with all the major players on both sides, and some. Oh, that's my dogs, guys. By the way, I've got really dangerous dogs. I'm sorry. Literally, I think a space where both sides can be fully prepared, and then you can have maybe a little, say, a panel of 3 or something as well at the side, where purely independent or something. and like this conversation should happen in like public. Amendments on governance props. Really sorry about my dogs, guys. I do apologize. Winston,
You think you're the alpha and you can't even control some mangy mutts.
I'll have to shout. Wait a minute. I'll put myself on mute and shout. Wait a minute.
All right, while he's muted,
There you
now
go.
I know I've got the
There
opportunity.
you go. There you go. It's quiet.
We heard
Quiet.
it, Robo. You weren't muted.
Did anyone else feel that? Just right in their fucking earbuds?
Wrap it up.
Sorry.
Keep the hours going. All right, you're holding
Right.
these lovely people here.
Say thanks to Brian. Say thanks to Brian, guys.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, would love
Brian,
to
Rebekka,
to talk
Joe,
with all the
Red
teams and you know, get some collaboration going too. I mean, I reached out to Youssef and the team over they call themselves Orbital, and they were like, "No, we're good. We'd like to work together if you guys win as well. But we're gonna be pushing it up on chain soon." So, like we did reach out and we said, "Hey, let's figure out how to way to work together," and we got pushback. So maybe we can get this in public and then figure out a way to work side by side.
I'll speak to Bendy shortly. Yeah, I'll speak to Bendy shortly and see if we can get a message back to the team. We'll hold the spaces maybe jointly with Cosmos Spaces, I think, and get both teams.
Just very quickly, Robo, just like to jump in and say thanks for the Alpha Growth team. Not many are willing to jump off and speak to the RAC FM, let alone on a recorded spaces. So props to you guys. You've endured the test, and very few do endure the test. So thanks for dropping up and being present and letting the community listen to your questions and answers and being present, because that's the first step. And hopefully we'll see you guys in the future, whether it's on chain or in spaces. This is, in our opinion, in the community's opinion, the first step to welcoming you into the journey. And RAC FM's the hardest challenge that you'll have.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, time to wrap it up.
Thank you.
Time to wrap it up.
All right, take care.
Yep.
Thank
Time
you.
to wrap it up.
everyone.
Thank you very much,
Cheers,
Brian.
everyone.
We'll be in touch. Dead right. Take care, brother. Your family. Finn, anything to say quickly before we go, dude?
No, wrap it up, baby. Wrap it up. Put a bow on this bitch and put her to bed. Let's go.
Well, this has been, guys, RAC FM, right? Sponsored by Cosmos Spaces Validator, our first ever sponsor. If you go and look at the banner, you'll see it's on there. We would just like to say, if you can, remember the work that they've done for the community. Remember what a fundamental part of the community they play. They validate on 8 chains, bare metal validators. They've never sold one scrap of rewards. Just go, if you can, and pay some respect to our guys. Especially Atom, if you've got Atom, delegate some to Cosmos Spaces. Let's get them back in the active set if we can. All of you guys, take care. Thank you so much, right? It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah? And we'll see you next week, guys, right? On the next Friday show. All the best, Bbandz.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for having me.
It's the RAC show coming from the RAC store. With this back in the Mac in the back flow. Let's go, chillin' with raccoons by the back door. Take calls so you can stake more. All I wanna do is making dough, right? But I found this crew and doing alright. We RAC will bitch, ready to fight. So many raccoons ready for the boss life. I might fly high like a kite, right? But always ready for a shite for the right price. Raccoon supply has the right price. Giving you respect if it's likewise. So I'm buying all the mean guys with the clean heart. Read between lies, laser beam through lean eyes. Warrior with clean lies, trash mouth, mean smile, be wise. NFT wise, fuck with these guys. It's the RAC lab from the back lab. 110 of these in my backpack. Crazy RAC pack from the stash app. RAC will take a lead in this haystack. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 110 of these in my backpack. Crazy RAC pack from the stash app. RAC will take a lead in this haystack. Blast that RAC rap from the stash app. Supplying the raccoons with a headbang rap. RAC gang with the RAC will slang like a trash can. Hoodie with fangs and a gold chain. It's either RAC will or the red pill. Best chill while we get into the first meal. Best feel, best devs with the best skill. No shill, all real, secret is a great deal. Rack will insane, Shane better stand fast. Robo shooting his tweets with straight facts. Knowledge from the street, with the best plan yet. Winston gotta eat if you retweet that. Free alpha life feed from the base camp. McKenna always ready if you dare that. Buying all raccoons for his rare stash. Trash panda biker gang motherfucking hashtag. It's the rack lab from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy rack lab from the stash app. Rack will taking lead in this haystack. It's the rack lab from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy rack back from the stash app. Rack will taking lead in this haystack.
TerraSpaces.